So a while ago, I made a video about how we were all tired and that it was because of an accrual of constant change. And it took off a little and was seen by quite a few people, and I got some really lovely comments. Thank you very much. A couple of people also checked in with me to check that I was okay, and thank you, and I was, and I still am. Anyway, welcome to the sequel. Because you know what? I'm still tired. And I was talking to a very dear and wise friend of mine the other day about this fatigue that is in me still and in others and just hasn't gone away. My job is an employment lawyer. And since my last video, I have spoken to so many people who have experienced losses. And as I talked to my friend, it became clear that the reason for this fatigue now is that there has been so much of this loss. Now think about it. Who among you hasn't lost so much over the last period? I mean, I know I have. We're a small country. We all know someone who's lost their job or their house or their business or a loved one or loved ones. We've been separated from each other and from our normal lives and from the world. I mean, what even is travel anymore? Friends and families have been torn apart by their beliefs and choices. People have moved towns, moved away from their normal spheres, moved away and apart. And we've been told and taught not to mix. And so our losses are manifest and multiple. I've spoken to employees who got fired, employers who had to fire long-standing loved employees, business owners closing their doors, having tried so hard to keep it together. They've been emotional sometimes, and later, when the phone calls have ended for the day, frankly, so have I. So I've heard a lot about loss in recent times, and I'm sure you have too, and I'm tired, and it's not due to lack of sleep. I think a huge loss is the loss of feeling safe, physically and mentally, the loss of our sense of control. And so we have grief at a national level. I'll never, I hope, be so tough and removed as a lawyer that the grief of my clients doesn't affect me, but it does, and it has affected all of us. None of us were prepared for everything to change, and it feels permanent, and people are sad and angry and so tired. And of course, it's still all changing, except apparently now it's safe again, or it will be at 11:59 p.m. on the 4th of April, when New Zealand gets rid of our vaccine passes and some of our mandates, although not all of them. I mean, I'm constantly confused at the pace of change and the way it all moves, because I don't understand why we're getting rid of passes but we're still in the red, and I don't even think I know what red means anymore. Are we safe? And why at that precise time? Why at 11:59? Why on the 4th of April? Why can't it be at 10:30 in the morning when I've had a nice cup of tea and I got used to the idea of something happening? I mean, I go to bed, I wake up, everything's changed. Now, I never did get me a vaccine pass. I couldn't bring myself to go to places where friends and clients, or some of them, couldn't go. And don't feel bad if you did. I'm not criticizing you. We all had to make our own choices. But my point is that I should feel joy about this announcement. I should have been so happy. I can go get my nails done. I can go to a facial. I go get a facial. I can go to a restaurant. Don't get me wrong. I know I will. But I don't feel happy about it. And so we'll have less segregation, but does that mean there'll be integration? Will there be no more unkindness, no more resentment of each other, no more slagging each other off on the internet? I mean, LinkedIn's been bad enough, but I don't even have a Facebook account, but man, what's it like over there? Now, apparently this is all a post-peak plan to return to greater normality, whatever that is now. And I said in my last video that I wanted normal to come back, and I feel exactly the same way. First, I think, though, we need to deal with our losses. These have been unnatural and unexpected. Helplessness and disempowerment are killers, and I see the losses that we have suffered causing ambivalence about the future instead of elation. We're free, I think, or we will be, but are we safe? And will the losses be recognised and reintegration be successful? Who thought 2022 might be one of the worst yet in terms of this accrual of losses? It hasn't all gone away. You know, a pandemic is a terrible thing, but I've come to see that separation and segregation are pretty bad too. So if you're feeling flat or tired, it might help to think about what and who you have lost. Have you lost your job, your business, your friends and whānau? My heart goes out to you all. And now that we are almost free and possibly safe, Will you stay in your tribe who've been with you throughout this time, or who you've been with, or will you integrate? Will you comfortably mix with the others? And if I go to a restaurant and they're still taking vaccine passes, am I going to get turned away? So if you know what red means and why it's still here and why 4 April and why 11:59 and a great place where I can go to get my nails, please send me a message.